Hey everyone! Hi, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue here for today's Cricut Chat, Wednesday, February 24th. And we are going to be doing some really crazy and really cool cards. There's actually so many cards, and there are actually 2 cartridges that these cards come from that I want to show you them. And I can't show you all the cards because there's like 30 on each, but I can show you a couple. And the first one is this really adorable Carousel card that is a Trifold card. So today we're doing Trifolds, but then we have other ones. There's Cascades. There's Z folds, there are fancy folds and all of that. So I wanted to take time to show you this one here. I cut really, really big because I thought it was so cool. I put sticky on this. I probably shouldn't have, but look at this. It is a grandfather clock and it's trifold. Look, it opens up and you see the mice. There's a mouse here. And then when you open it up, there's another mouse here. And then you further open it up and there's all the gears and another mouse. So this is called a trifold card, or I call it a trifold card. And I'm going to show you how to make them after I do a few announcements. So hi everyone, welcome. It's halfway through the week and we're having a blast with making cards. We're doing cards. We may have to extend into next week because I keep finding all these wonderful cards that I want to show you. But first, before I get started on that, I had a really interesting viewer mail that I had to show you. And it's actually because yesterday when I was doing the show, could have been Monday. When I was doing the show, Benji was doing something. He was like chewing on something. It sounded like cardboard. Well, it turns out that one of the viewers, one of my friends, Nancy Kaluga, I think I'm saying that right, Nancy Kaluga. I want to just check her thing. Kulaga. I'm sorry, Kulaga. Nancy Kulaga, are you here today? So apparently Nancy sent me a box, and you guys have to kind of see the front porch where I have all of my stuff, and oftentimes boxes will get delivered and I don't get to them right away. And that's the case with this one. It got shoved under a chair. I'm going to show you that, Sharon. I'm going to show you that. So it got shoved under a chair, and it had a little bit of food in it. So just like a little treat. And Benji smelled that food in there and started to chew on the box, and he made look at the mess he made on the box. So I want to show you this great prize that she gave me. I'll do that a little bit later. While I am seeing Carrie Chakowski, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Carrie, I'm not sure if you got my message, but you won, honey, from February. You won one of the prizes, okay? And I need to get your name and address, so that I can send it to you next week, okay? Carrie, did you hear that? Okay. Yeah, it's super hilarious, and her gift was so thoughtful, and I will show you that in a little bit. Also, I wanted to just kind of, yes, Carrie, you won. Yes, Carrie, you won. I called your name, I think it was Sunday, and I hadn't heard from you. So send me an email, missritatotherescue@gmail.com. And by the way, keep your emails coming. I read them all. I'm trying to respond. I've gotten some really wonderful ones lately, and you're welcome to send me emails, as long as it's not spam, to missritatotherescue@gmail.com. Yay, Carrie. Yeah. Okay. So that's on a new winner. You won and I just didn't hear from you. Okay. Lisa Odell, are you making soap from scratch? Because that's my thing. Before I got into cricketing, I was a soap maker and had my own business for soap making, and I just loved it, and I still do it, but I don't do it as a business anymore. Yeah. All right. So let me just I'm kind of all wound up today. So let me just get started about the mystery box yesterday. Okay. So you guys, I have responded to a lot of your comments about the mystery box and brought that to the Cricut team, and they are going to meet and talk about ways to make it easier to find those and get the mystery box for those people that want to do the mystery box, okay? And so don't be terribly disappointed. I will tell you that I was able to get a mystery box myself, and what I'm going to do is, I paid for it with my own money and everything, and when I get it, I think what I'll do is break it up and do a giveaway, and I will give away that extra white Cricut Cutie. So if you didn't have a chance to get one, then you might get one from the giveaway. So I'll break it all up and send out pieces. Either pick or do something like that. Okay. So don't be disappointed if you didn't get it. You still have another chance. And that's not to say that they're not going to have them in the future, right? So we have to remember that they know people. Yes, they know people. Someone saying, and have more boxes. Yes. There was a couple of weird rumors going around about yesterday's box. I don't know. Someone said there was like a very limited quantity. I know there was a limited quantity, but they don't tell us how many, the limited quantity, and someone was saying that they knew exactly what it was, and they won't even tell us. So I don't think that was true. The other thing that came up was about the needles. Okay, the blades. So here are the blades. So yesterday someone was talking about the blades. I know. I agree in that. So the blades, just so you know, they're premium blades, and they will work, even though it says Explore, they will work in the Maker, because I actually tested that yesterday. Somebody was saying that the blades were too strong, or they were cutting through vinyl, and that is actually not the case. Yeah, I don't hold that with a lot of validity about the 350 because they don't tell us. So I think that might have just been like someone making a guess or something. I really don't know. Anyway, so this was cut with the blade yesterday. This is Cricut Premium Vinyl, and people were complaining that this kind of and I made no adjustments to the cutting. It cut beautifully on vinyl. People were complaining about it cutting through the carrier sheet, the backing, but that was not my experience. And some other people are saying it didn't cut at all, and that was not my experience. I did also cut out on iron-on, and I did notice a couple of little spots where like it cut all the way through here. Okay, so this is vinyl, this is iron-on, and I actually cut paper on intricate cut setting, and it cut beautifully. So if you were to buy blades and you happen to get this one, the one that says for Explore, I think the confusion came up because there used to be blades. This was way back in the Expression era. There used to be blades that had this gray, see the gray cover tip to it? And those were not premium blades. These ones are, and you'll know them not based on that little plastic thing on there, but rather what's on the package, which said it could cut for Explore. And if it could cut for Explore, it can cut for Maker. That's sort of the thing. So if people saying, well, it just says Explore, not Maker. Well, I cut it with my Maker and it did just fine. So, So there's that. So let's get into it. And if you all, I understand, by the way, if you have any positive, like in terms of, coming up with a solution, ideas for making the mystery boxes better, then definitely share them, and I will pass them on. I already did pass them on from the comments that were made from my group. Okay, so let's talk about these cards. So these are from a cartridge. Now this is going way back, all right, and so people like Susan Sharp will remember, but way back when Cricut really first started, they had something called it was like a membership. This is before they were even online, and you could earn points towards to a special cartridge, right? And so they would come out with once a year. You would earn this by keeping like little points. They used to put things inside of cartridges that were like a certificate, and then you would earn points, and then you could buy with your points, you could buy special cartridges. And this was way back before there was Design Space. Remember that? Yeah. And so they came out with a couple of cartridges. And one of the things that you have to kind of remember about Cricut is that, they're always evolving. So way back, they used to have these things they're called cartridges. They were like shaped like a horseshoe, and you'd put it in your machine. And if you have an Explorer, you'll still have like a slot for that. And that way you could cut. And so they would come out with all these different promotions, and some of them would be like light cartridges. So they'd have just a few images, and some of them were really like full cartridges, and they'd have fonts on them and everything. So as part of this whole thing with this membership program that they had, they would come out with these special cartridges that you could only get if you were a member, and you'd have to purchase it and all that stuff. So these cards that I'm going to show you come from those cartridges, which we now call image sets, okay? And they often just sort of go unnoticed, which is weird because these are really fun images and really fun cards to make. Let's see. And there are actually two of them. And then there's a sort of a surprise about these in that when you bought the cartridges, there was often a little handbook. Now, the handbook, I will tell you, wasn't super helpful. And it really, when you're looking at it, you have to kind of look at it through the lens of, you used to have to cut on like actually on the machine. You didn't use a computer to cut from. So it'll have a lot of like sort of coded messages on the handbook. But for cards like this, that can be a little deceiving when you just see all the cutting parts and how to put it together, assembling it and everything. Those handbooks come in handy. And so I'm going to show you where to find the handbooks, because a lot of people don't even know about these handbooks, okay? So first, let's start with where to find these images, and then I'm going to show you on the internet where these handbooks come in. So this is one of two cards that I'm going to show you today, but they're both about the same. They're called Trifold, or I call them Trifold cards, and this card has like a base, and this is the base, and I had to resize this. Because I was like, oh, it's too small. I need to resize this. So we're going to resize that. I'll show you how to do it. And then basically these pieces get glued on. And then there's this sort of mystery middle piece, but I kind of figured it out today. And it does come with an envelope. And so let's go over to images so that you can see what I'm talking about. So from images, and you click on all images, we're going to go here. My favorite spot, it's called image sets. And you'll notice that there's like 3,500 image sets. So the way that Cricut does it is they group by some theme. So like Disney, like in this example, Disney Up printables, they're all grouped together, sort of thing. It's not, there might be like a 2, like Disney Up Printables 2. But anyway, so they're an image set and they don't generally break it up. Sometimes they will go in and take parts out and make a new image set, but that's a different thing. But anyway, so what you want to think in terms of is image sets, and image sets have a name. So in this particular case, this cartridge, now called image set, was called Crazy Cool Cards, okay? But there's actually a second cartridge called Crazy Cute Cards. So what I'm going to do is type in the word crazy under image sets, CRAZY, and you will see it comes up with, this is the one that we got today's, it's called Crazy Cool Cards. There's 30 cards in here, and down the bottom there's Crazy Cute Cards, and there's another 30 cards. I don't know if you can see that. You can't. Okay. So we're going to actually get from the Crazy Cool Cards. Now, I think it's called crazy because none of these cards really are a pattern. Like, they're all different themes. And some of them are Cascade cards. These are Cascade cards. We're going to be doing those coming up. And then here are the 2 trifolds that I made for today. And then there's a lot of there's Z folds. And then there are what I would call fussy cut or fussy, like very, intricate cut, or I don't know. No, not intricate cut. More like special folds, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of cards here, and upon looking at them, they're really confusing. So I want to show you how I have tried to figure them out. I haven't figured them all out. I haven't done them all. Like, for instance, I never make a football because I don't like football. So, but there are some pretty amazing cards, such as like this one here. It's like one of those boom boxes, and it actually opens, and there's like a little cassette that you can write something in there. And there's some really cute ones like this picnic. Okay, like this picnic basket. Hey, quiet down now. This picnic basket, which opens up with all these goodies inside. Okay. So, we're going to go over some of these, but I want you to sort of explore them, but don't get discouraged when you happen upon and you're like, where does this thing go? 'Cause I've been through that too. So to help, it doesn't solve it completely, but to help, I want to show you, I'm on the internet now, and I go to Cricut.com/handbooks. Handbooks, one word, S on the end. And when you do that, it brings you here to Help Center Older Machines, okay? And so here is a how-to. And there you'll see cartridge handbooks. And I don't know why it's sort of tucked away, but this is useful information. So anyway, here are the names of the image sets or cartridges. So if you see, there's like kind of like a grid here, and it will say, the first column says, does it include fonts? The second column, handbook, and the third column, design space, and then the release date, and then any notes. Okay. So if it says handbook open, that means there is a handbook available for that cartridge. Not all of them had handbooks. Some of them had just a little page. And so keep that in mind. So if we just scroll down and look for crazy, which we will do here. There we go. Crazy. Okay, Crazy Cool Cards and Crazy Cute Cards. And we hit open. We will come across a PDF, and that's what this is. I don't know why my left-hand thing keeps popping up. But, okay, so this is called Crazy Cool Cards Handbook. Go up here. And it's a PDF. So I'm trying to get to the top, and it's a lot of stuff here. Okay, so this is what the little handbooks, and these handbooks were tiny, like the size of maybe 3 by 3 sometimes. So this is better because it's way bigger. So it will tell you. Let's look at. These are all the cards that are in there, okay? And then if you continue to scroll, you'll go down to each individual card. So in this case, there's the train, and it's a Cascade card, and you'll see that these are all the cutouts, right? So it's like one giant cutout. These are where the scoring goes, and by the way, they'd have these score things. It was kind of like you couldn't understand it too well, but just so that you can see all the pieces, and then in some of these they show you how to put them together. So for example, let me just show you. So here is the one for the picnic basket, and it has all these cute little things inside, and then it shows you here are the pieces, and when you get down to the bottom, is it down here? Yeah, here. I know it's here. There's a lot on this little booklet. It sort of tells you how to put them together, and you can kind of okay, here is example. So here is a Z-fold card that has a mountain and a valley fold. So you'd cut these out, and then you would fold one on the mountain and fold one on the valley, and then it would create this Trifold Z-fold card. The same with like all of these other ones. There's our Cascade train, and it shows you how to sort of put it together. Now, they aren't the best drawings, okay? But they're helpful to an extent, especially if you're just staring at all the pieces, okay? So it's worth knowing this, bookmarking, just like you would the heat guide. So again, it's Cricut.com/handbooks. And there is also, this one's for the crazy cool cards, and this one is for the crazy cute cards, which is another set of 30 different cards, and including a really cute birthday cake, which we'll do. It's a Cascade card, okay? So there's a lot. There's this Cascade card. There's actually a couple of Cascade cards in here. So we'll do all of those. But I just want you to know this is useful to have. I mean, we'll go through and put some of them together. But personally, any help will do. Yeah, just as Bren is saying, any help will do. Okay, so let's go back to Design Space, and let's pull in. Actually, I'm going to let me save this and start from scratch, because that's the way you're going to start, although I can give you these files. So we'll do new, and we're going to go to images and image sets, and we're going to type in crazy. And there are 2 cards that we're going to work on today, and that is the carousel and the grandfather clock. Oh, I forgot to do image sets. Oops. Okay, crazy. All right, so we're going to crazy cool cards, and we're going to be doing this grandfather clock and this carousel clock today. There'll be other days that we'll do something from here, okay? So we'll do insert, and what you'll see, what is the link card? Oh, so Rita, way back when they had it's kind of a long story, but a linked cartridge was basically a way to show ownership of a cartridge before they had Design Space. So there was a time when people would buy the cartridges, and believe me, the cartridges were not cheap. Like, I remember buying a couple that were like for classrooms, and they were close to $100 because they were like licensed content. And so what would people do is that they would buy them and pass them along, but they don't want to do that. It wasn't like a library. So they would make something linked. And that's when they came up with the Design Space Online. And so when a cartridge was linked to one account, then it couldn't be linked to another account. It was a way to sort of copyright it, right? sort of copyright it. Okay. So here are 2 cards, and clearly they come in very small, and you can see here they have this all lined up. So let's put that one aside, and we'll do it for the grandfather clock. And I am going to make the envelope today. So I am going to ungroup this, and I am going to take, so this consists of, this is the main piece. Let me get in closer so you can see. So this is the main piece, and you'll see that there is actually scoring up and down here. You kind of don't need the scoring because it's only at 2 very small places, but it's there. So here's the main piece, and this is the trifold that opens up. This piece is the front piece, and it will go on the back, the back of this piece, and it will match up with this mouse. So right now, mouse is looking opposite, right? This is the inside piece, which I cut out in like a metallic because it reminds me of my grandfather clock, which is all like brass colored. So, and there is one of our mice. And then this piece is going to go on the right-hand side. And you'll see that there's our other mouse, and it matches, as long it's going to go on the other side. And then that is it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces plus the envelope. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I ungrouped it, and I am sort of putting it all together, and I'm going to include the envelope, and I'm going to group it together, and I'm going to resize it because right now it's pretty small. So right now it's like 3.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall. That is so tiny. So I'm just going to take and stretch it. Now I did a couple of different sizes on this, but the one that I stretched to 11.5, which I think was actually a little bit too much. So I would say like maybe 10 or 9.5. And then what happens is when you group them together and you change the size, they all change respectively. So if you don't group something together and you change the size, you're going to end up with pieces that don't match. So make sure you group before you resize. There is a way around that, but it's kind of a little complicated. So here it is, resize, and you can see those mice, and I'm going to show you how to put this together. So they recommend these blue, green, purple, and everything, but I actually chose like kind of browns. I don't work with brown all that much, although I actually like brown. And so what I did was I made this big, like this is the 11.5 inch. You don't have to make it this big, but I really wanted to show you. So there's the first mouse, right? And look, doesn't it look just like a grandfather clock? And then you open it this way. There's the second mouse inside of the Clockworks. And then you open it up, and there's the third mouse. And this place here, if you didn't use metallic, I suppose you could write on, but I wouldn't. What I would do is I would probably write on the back. This is a perfect card for somebody who likes clocks, somebody who's retiring, somebody who likes antiques, or just somebody that likes quirky little cards, because it is a quirky little card. And so here you go. And it's sort of like a little piece of artwork. And it sits up, because it's a trifold, but it's like that. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody make it, but it's really a cute little card. And it reminds me of remember that nursery rhyme, Hickory Dickory Dock? That's what it reminds me of. So there is the mouse, 1 mouse, 2 mice, third mouse. So cute. Yeah, they're old images. And then here is the envelope. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. So resizing is important. Make sure that you resize your images. So I'll get rid of these things now. And if you want, by the way, if you want these files, I will make them available, and they'll be put in the description. So if you're watching this as a replay on YouTube or on Facebook, look for the links to Design Space. that will show you or will actually bring you to Design Space. You can open it up and you can save it as your own. So if you want to do that instead of going and finding the card yourself, then that is always an option. Okay. So here is the carousel card, which I absolutely adore, and I made for a friend of mine a very long time ago, actually, and she just loves carousels. So the way that it is right now, it is tiny, although it might look kind of big because it says 10.89. It's because it's all stretched out. So what we need to do is we need to select it and ungroup it. And I'm actually going to get rid of the envelope because I'm not going to send this one. But if you want to keep the envelope, you can do the same thing. So I'm taking all the pieces and I'm sort of making them in a pile. Because I want for them to be all grouped so that they resize together, but I want to make them as small as possible. So that middle piece is the biggest piece of the card, okay? So now that I've done that, and you could still, move these out, but I'm going to group them all. I'm going to go up here to group and choose group. Now they won't come apart. You see, they're grouped together. And they can easily be ungrouped if you change or something happens, whatever. But that's how you group it. Now to resize it, you can size up here where there's a very specific size, or here. There's the width, there's the height. Or you can also stretch like this. Okay. Now, the maximum that you can really stretch to without going to another mat, the 12 by 24 mat, is 11 and a half, because that's as wide as you can go on a 12 by 12 mat, because there's a perimeter around it, right? Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. So let's stretch this out to 11 and a half. And then when we ungroup it, we will see we have these two pieces here, which I will admit were puzzling to me until I started playing with it. And then here's our main piece. Okay, so here's our main piece. Just like the grandfather clock, it has the two scores down here, but this is going to be the main piece. And then this piece comes along in the back so that you can have the little ball on top and a place to maybe write something or to put your name or whatever. Then there are these other pieces. Let's see, where is it? Come on. I hope Design Space is not going to be messing up on me. There's blue pieces and there are pink pieces. Where's my pink pieces? Okay, so here are the pink pieces. Now this one is going to go in the open trifold, just like this. There's a lot of gluing on this, by the way. And you'll notice that the way that it's set up is it's going to go right here. So centered, so the headdress and the, and the body of the decorations, everything like that. And what you'll notice about this card is that it sticks out here. So, there are these two pieces and they go on the outside, and there's these sticky out pieces, and I'll show you how to put them together. But this is a straight cut. I think it comes in on 3 colors, and I did mine in pastels, which I use I don't know if I have it here. Yeah, I do. Hold on. I used this brand new Pastel Solids Recollections that I got on the Hot Buy, and I'm going to use for Easter cards, but it has some great colors in there. So I used the purple and the blue and the pink in here. And it takes 3 slices or 3 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock, and I can show you. Oh, actually, it takes a little more when you make it a little bit bigger. So let me just go back and make it a tiny bit smaller so that you can see that if you're going to make this about 9 inches, which is what I did with the first time I cut it. Okay, here we go. So I'm grouping them all back together so that they're kind of in a a pretty neat pile. I'm going to group, and I'm going to change it to 9.5, I think, or 10, because then I didn't group it all great. So when you go to make it, it should appear, and it does, on 3 mats. So there's my blue mat, there's my main piece on the lavender mat, and then here's my decorative pieces on the pink mat. 3 sheets of paper, and it comes out to be looking this spectacular. Okay, so this is how it looks. Now, it's really cute. I did actually bend it here, so I apologize for that. But it opens up like this. And look how on this side, it's got the blue. This side, it has the pink. I love it. It opens this way. And then there's this little piece inside. And I was like, what's that for? And that's for your sentiment. But what's cool is when you fold it, it's part of the card. It looks like in the carousel, those things that, you know, the parents would stand up and hold on to. That's what that's part of. And I was like, that is so ingenious, right? So here you go. And then you can put your sentiment here or on the back or whatever you want to do. Happy birthday, and write on the back, or I don't know. So whatever you choose to do, if you want to give it to your little grandchild or something like that. Poles. Thanks you, Paralita. But you know what I'm talking about? The poles that are inside of a carousel. You can actually see them as part of this, right? So it's just a darling little card and so easy to put together. But I think if you look at it from the outset, it's really confusing. So let us go and put these together, okay? Shall we? I'm going to move you and show you how to put them together. So let's put together the clock one first. I'll put these aside. So we're doing the grandfather clock, and I did cut it out really large, and I did cut out the envelope. I'm going to put that aside for right now. So here are the pieces that I cut out. I want to see. I have a little piece that didn't cut out all the way here. Come on. Okay. All right. So I did cut this out really large. It's 11.5 inches. But what's interesting is that the envelope ends up being business size. This piece ends up being like a business size envelope. And I don't think if you were to cut this out large, I do not think that you would have to spend more postage on it. And who doesn't like a really big card? I don't know. To me, that's kind of fun. Anyway, and I should note, yesterday when we did the box cards, somebody commented on YouTube saying, oh, we can't do box cards on the Joy. And I know that we have people out there that just have the Joy. Someone like Terry, who has made it her quest to resize and alter images so that they can be cut out on a Joy. So with a little bit of thought, you can resize and redo any of these cards. Now you won't be able to do the scoring, but she has a way around it too, where I think she puts like a pencil or something in there. Anyway, so there's that. All right, so we're going to just put this together, and believe it or not, it's really easy to put together. There is a lot of like little bits of glue, and I'm going to get a few questions about the glue like I always do. Just so you know, this glue is called Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. And right now I've noticed it's all over Facebook. So they're doing some advertising right now. So, but you can buy it straight from their website, or you can buy it at Amazon. And I have a link to Amazon that you can buy it from, or you can buy it straight from their website. They have a really, it's fairly reasonable price compared to the other glue that I use, which is called Art Glitter Glue. Very nice glue, but kind of expensive. And there's, I think, kind of expensive. And there's a lot of problems with wintertime in mailing it because it freezes. This glue can freeze and not cause problems. Okay, so here's my first piece that I put the glue on, and I want to sort of lay it up here to be the Clockworks. And you notice I cut this out, and there were little errors, so I just cut them out because I was like, I don't want to recut that. I was in a hurry. I don't know if I even put that on middle, but you guys will do better because you're not blah, blah talking and everything. So there's the middle of the card. And I did choose this foil, but you don't have to choose foil, and you don't have to choose the colors. You can make it this funky purple and green thing if you want to, or you can go old school and do it like these wood grains. You could even use a wood pattern paper, which I think would look really good. Okay, so this is the way it's going to close, and this is going to close first. This is sort of the middle of the inside of the box, and you'll see that we have our little mouse here, and then this becomes the outside piece of the box. I should have folded it at these, and I didn't. Sorry. Okay. So this is the outside piece. So the outside piece is where we want to put the next piece on. And sorry, I'm just, how did I do this? So there's a little bit of a cutout here that didn't come out. Sorry. Whew, you're stealing my thunder. Okay, here we go. Okay, and there's like a little dots. Okay. So here is the mouse. Didn't cut out very well. Okay, there's the mouse, the outside of the mouse, right? I want to just make sure that I got to go back and check my, wait. Okay. The mouse, actually, I have this. I did this backwards, you guys. Oh my God. All right, that's okay. I did it backwards, so we're going to do it this way. But when putting it together, this would be folded this way. I folded it backwards. Oh, well. I mean, I could just, let me do that so that it won't confuse you, okay? So here is the front. Piece, all right? And you see how the mouse is kind of like you'll see how that comes out. So this is the front piece. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of glue here. And, you guys will do it. You're much more patient than I am. And hashtag you'll do better than I am, and that's okay. This is just, sort of demonstration to sort of show you all the, basic steps. And if you want to embellish this too, it would look really good with like some gold or chromey kind of, maybe not chrome, but, gold, shiny things. And so there is the front now, and then we're going to do this guy here. So we have to fold it in like this. Right? Because that's how it's going to fold. And so you have to be a little careful about how you assemble them. Because if you did it this way, you see, it wouldn't match up. So you have to make sure that you're matching it up, and so that you have to make sure that you're putting the glue on the correct side. So definitely measure or check before you put the glue on, like I just did that stupid thing of putting that middle one in. Okay, so this is the way it's going to go. So I'm going to flip it over and put my glue on here. And believe it or not, I actually changed remember I told you I tested that new card. I was cutting out all of these and thinking, I need to put a new blade in. And so I said, why not try these blades that we got in that mystery box, because people were asking about it. So I thought, yeah. And actually, it was a discussion we had amongst the product editors, because people were asking in other groups about the blades too. So, but I do note that there's I did not cut this out with that new blade. I cut it with the old blade, so I see some errors here. Okay, so fold it here. and put this on. Okay, and let's pretend that that middle is put in there because it's not. And there is our card. How cute is that, right? And this is supposed to be on the inside, okay? But I put it on the wrong side. I suppose I could tear it off, but nah, I don't want to. I'll just cut another one out before I give it away. So there's the card, and let me show you the envelope, which is very easy. I cut it out in this paper because I thought it was cute. And it is kind of a business size envelope. So if you didn't want to make the envelope, or you have the joy and you don't want to do it by hand, you can probably use a business size envelope for this. And that was for the size of 11.5. I'm noticing that there's cat hair all over here because for some reason my Frankie keeps coming up wanting to get kisses and cuddles while I'm cutting. I'm like, this is a new predicament, Frankie. Like, what is up with you? And he's just very affectionate right now. It's like, ew, I'm not used to, I know that's sad. I'm just not used to him being affectionate. He's not an affectionate cat. I mean, he's friendly, but he's not affectionate. And I'm like, Frankie, what are you doing on my workspace? It's like, it's kind of a little crazy. He gets like this in the spring, early spring. So I suppose that's a good sign. All right. And so the sides here are a little bit thin, but that's how you'd put it together. And I've used something like double stick tape. Some other people use different things. You can use Velcro or whatever, or you can just glue it shut, but it goes in here. It's probably going to make my envelope open because, yeah, because it's not quite glued there yet. But let me show you the completed one. So here again, here's the completed one. See that? That's the outside. That's the second. And then inside is the Clockworks. And then here's the envelope, which I put double stick tape on. Probably shouldn't have done that. And this is how it looks. And I think it's about the size of a business envelope. So you guys can, just address it here. You can maybe even put a sticker with the address if you wanted to send it out. And I'm not the postman, but I'm assuming that this fits in their machines at the regular first class rate. Okay, so that is our grandfather clock with the envelope trifold card and from Crazy Cute Cards. Adorable, right? It's crazy cute, right? I'm thinking these envelopes, but I would check with your local postmaster because you don't want something to not get delivered, right? And I know square cards require some sort of special marking so that, but I thought this one was similar to a business size, okay? Okay, so the next one is our carousel. And I'm making a grand old mess. So it's cut. It's very intricately cut. I did cut these pieces on intricate cut, cardstock for intricate cut. This is one that's a little bit smaller, but you'll see it has the blue pieces on the outside. Let me go up a little tiny bit, okay? So it's the blue pieces on the outside. On the back also has the blue piece. This is, you could use that to put a sentiment or something. And then when you open it, it has this piece here, which is the poles. And it's two-sided. I'm not really sure why it's two-sided. But so when you close it, you can see the poles on either side of that horse. And then you take this off and there's the middle one and you'll see that the pink is here. Really adorable card, really nice, but confusing, especially this piece here because you're like, what? So let me show you how it goes together. So here's our main piece that I cut out in like a lavender color. And again, I used my maker for this, and this piece I actually cut out with the old blade, and I was like a little bit disappointed because it kind of cut here, and then I knew, oh, I got to change the blade. So let me just fold this so you can see where it folds. It's a little delicate, so, you know, go slowly. And up here especially, there's this little piece here. We're going to get rid of that, so don't worry about that. Well, not rid of it, but we're going to shore it up, so to speak. Okay, so here is our base of our card. Start by flipping it over and taking this piece, the one with the little ball on the top, and we're going to place it on here. Now, normally I would put the glue on the piece that I'm going to glue, but because this has this other stuff, I'm going to actually put the glue on the base of the card, because otherwise it would show through if I didn't do that. Okay, so there's a little pro tip for you all right? And as far as glue goes, I love this glue and I love our glitter glue, but if you don't have either, use whatever you have, and just make sure that you don't overdo it. The worst thing you could do is overdo on the glue. And so it's better to just kind of do it in a very small little stream or a beading or something, and have to go back and secure down little pieces if you have to, than to have a big old, and it's like a wet, gushy mess. And then when it dries, it's all like wavy and wrinkly, and I hate that. Makes the paper mushy. So do that instead. Okay, so there's the back. And so let's turn it over to the front. And then we're going to take the pink piece. This is the inside piece, the opened piece. And you see it's very intricately cut. And I just want to show you how it's going to go on. So it goes on like this. This one I did cut with the new blade, and I can tell. So so it's going to go on here, and it actually goes on this bottom piece. It doesn't go all the way down here. Okay, so you're going to follow, basically keep your eye on where the mane, the horse's mane goes, and that's the way it's going to go. So let's flip that over and glue that intricately cut. And this, again, this takes some practice, but you guys will, you know, just use your patience and just dot that glue on or bead it on. I'm going fast because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you'll do it better than I do it. And if you're new here, you'll know that that's my go-to saying is you'll do it better. And it's kind of funny. I didn't realize I even said that. So all right, so we're putting the glue, and I'm just putting a little bit so that all of these little tiny pieces or little tiny cutouts will stick to the base of the card. And again, you can always go back and put more glue. Now this part of the card does have scoring, but I didn't score it until after I glued it. I think because by scoring it, it kind of made the placement a little bit difficult, but you do what you want to do, but I didn't really feel the need to score it until after I placed it on the card. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just boop, boop, getting here. So what else? So tomorrow I was going to do pop-up cards, but I was thinking that maybe we should do those Cascade cards from these. And so if you have a preference, do let me know, and I can arrange something different. Now Friday, I want to tell you that I will have to do the show later because I have a mammogram, and we do not skip mammograms in this group. We always go and get our mammograms because they can find things when they're really small, and as a preventative, as a survivor of breast cancer, I need to go to that. So that is at actually 8:30 at the hospital. So I will not be able to be here for 9 o'clock. So I'm hoping that I'll be here at 10 o'clock. So the class will be delayed on Friday. And I think we're going to be doing a card from Lori Whitlock that's a little complicated. So I want to show you that one, okay? All right, so I've got all the glue. And by the way, the glue might look like it's going to dry a little bit. That's okay. Just take your time. And again, you can always just sort of come back to it. And now I am heading up these and making sure to match the mains. And you'll see that it falls into place really well from there. And then here is where the scoring is going to happen, right here. So I wait until the glue is set for a couple of seconds, and then I just make sure I fold it like this, okay? Has something to do with, for me anyway, it's something to do with the glue being on there. Okay, the next pieces are the insert part and then the blue. So let's go ahead and do the blue piece next. So these fold in because it's a trifold, right? And this one goes here. Now what you'll notice is it sticks out. So be careful, don't fold it, okay? But we're going to put glue there, and then we're going to take this piece like this. Also, it folds out. So we're going to put the glue on there. Easy peasy. And just don't put glue here because you don't need it. So just go ahead and put the glue on the places on the back of this. And I'm rushing, I know. I just always think I don't want to take up everybody's time, you know. You know why? Because like way back when I was first starting in video, I have a friend that works in television, and he said to me, you really want to keep it as short as possible. And he said, definitely under 20 minutes. But then I thought he didn't really know too much about craft videos, and so I felt kind of like anytime we went over 20 minutes, I felt like, oh my God, I'm just gonna lose so many people. But then I just realized, you know, people come and go, and so the people that want to see the whole thing stay, and the people that just want to see certain parts of it go, and they can watch the replay and everything. So I guess my professional advice from my friend in national radio was a little bit off. It didn't suit the topic, so to speak. But I'd still get all like, oh my God, I can't be over 20 minutes. So, all right. So here's our left piece on there. I'm gonna let the glue dry. And remember now, when these are folded out, it's going to stick out here and here. That's okay. Don't put glue on that part. If you do, you just wipe it off. And again, you're going to do this better than me. I'm like rushing, and I don't know. I just rush, I guess, because of my friend saying that people are not going to stay around to listen to you gab. He said it nicer than that. But anyway, so here is that. And then here's our second piece that goes on there. I'm going to do it from this side, but you see how they fold over here? That's what we're going to make sure we don't put the glue on these two sort of ends that are jutting out, but we're going to put glue everywhere else. And let's see. So Nancy, Kugala, please forgive me. I know I'm mispronouncing it. Nancy sent me this box, right? And it got lost in the shuffle of my front studio here, which is my porch, right? It came in with a bunch of other boxes, and they were from Cricut, and I didn't open them, and blah blah blah, right? And so I didn't notice it, but surely Benji found it, and he started chewing on it because there's a little tiny bit of candy inside, and this dog is like a crazy fiend for anything in a box and also candy. So am I doing this right? What? Am I doing this right? Yeah, I'm doing it right. Duh. So he's like kind of like this. This does not seem appropriately sized. In fact, it's not. It's not, I don't think. It's not the same size. Duh. It's not the same size. Okay. Well, all right. You guys get the idea. So here is... oh, I don't know how you deal with me, honestly. It's not the right size. I'll have to go back and cut it out, but it's not the right size. And it goes on here like this, okay? And then the last piece is this piece that does the poles, and so we're going to put the glue on the back of this that ends up being the poles. And if you wanted to put a sentiment and have your Cricut write it, this is where you would do it before you cut it out, or you can hand write it, okay? So Nancy sent me this adorable corgi filled box, and I have to show you the card she made. It's just amazing. And she sent me the sweetest letter in the world. It was so nice. So thank you, Nancy. I'm going to show you guys. And I have also some viewer mail. I keep getting stuff that's like from weeks that you guys mailed weeks ago. Isn't that crazy? So I don't know. The mail's really messed up. All right, so here is this. So please forgive me that I cut this out wrong. I think I was so excited about sharing with everybody about the blade that I cut that wrong. So pretend that it's in there. This gets tucked inside, just like that. And there is your card. And this is where you can put, let's say you put a sentiment, you know, happy birthday, dearie. And wouldn't a little child that loves carousels love this, or maybe even a grown person? I love carousels. It's been a while since I've been on one. They have one in Salem at the Willows that I adore, and it's one of those old-fashioned ones. And there was one that I used to go on Martha's Vineyard as a child, and it's still there, but I haven't been in Martha's Vineyard for a long time. Anyway, so there is the card. And there are our two cards for today that are trifold cards. So if you guys are open to it tomorrow, which will be at the regular time, we are going to be doing, if you're okay with that, we'll do Cascade cards, which are similar in size, but they do require a little different sort of technique. And remember, to find these cards, you would go to images and you would go to your image sets, right? Image sets. And this is where you would type in the word crazy. And this is from the grouping called Crazy Cool Cards, which we're going to be doing this one tomorrow and this one. And if I can squeeze it, I'll do the train one. Those three maybe I actually will do, I love that ice cream sundae one. And down here, there's actually a birthday cake. So maybe I'll do the birthday cake and the ice cream sundae. Where is it? Right here. So here's the birthday cake. That's a Cascade card. So I'm going to show you that. And we'll do the ice cream sundae. And I guess we'll do the one, why the heck not? I'll do the one with the barn too. So they're all three the same kind. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you try these out. If you do, please post what you ended up with. I love to see your posts, what you ended up choosing for colors and different things to make this your own. And that's the beauty of Cricut, isn't it? To really make art that's all uniquely yours. And, you know, I used to think, well, these cards are not uniquely to me, you know, but then I thought, you know, that's the same as a sewing pattern or a recipe, is that everybody brings their own unique spin on a pattern. And that's all these are patterns. And so I just want to encourage you, everyone, to try these out and put your own spin on it. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. Oh, and Nancy, oh, wait. I just want to show you this card that Nancy sent. Apologize. Okay. So, it's a box, right? And look at this adorable card. I'm tickled pink that we are friends. Oh, wait, I'm not showing you. I'm tickled pink. Look at the flamingos. This is a Lori Whitlock card. I'm tickled pink that we are friends. And then she put in this little corgi, and it's a magnet. And she wrote a little thing saying, I am a magnet. Is that not? Look at the butt. I was just so tickled to get this. It was so cute. I want to know where you got this from, Nancy. And I love the idea of the magnet. And also there's a stuffy in there. There's a little corgi stuffy that will now, and this is what the dog was after, this candy. So we have to find a place of honor for my corgis. But I just love this and this. Thank you so much, Nancy. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with me. And we will see you again tomorrow to do those Cascade cards. And remember, on Friday, we'll be coming to you later, and I will give you I'll give you what we're going to be doing later on, maybe today, later on today. So thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.